everyone, welcome back to TLC Designs YouTube channel. Today it's Nat Walsh. Today I am going to have a little play with Jazz. So his full name is, I think it's pronounced like Fairily Furry Jazz Digi. Okay, I think it's Fairly. I may be wrong. And we're going to use a sentiment out of Dragon Baby Greetings. Okay, these are both digital images, so you can make them big, small, you can do whatever. I'm going to get a little bit creative. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you sort of want to do this light to start off with. But I am drawing a bed. I had a look at some pictures on Google and I decided to I found the bed that was the easiest to draw. But he just had this real sad sack look in his eyes that I needed to draw him for a get well card, or, so we're going to do a thinking of you card. So I'm drawing a pillow. Now, I've cut it all out, but I did not have the sentiment on my cardstock, so I did it again. And you'll see the pillows are not the same, but you can see there that it ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter. Oh gosh, English. It's not going to matter at all, because we're going to hide some bits. You can see the bottom there. I must have gone a little bit wonky. But we're going to fix that. It's all good. Later on, I will put a little bedside table in, because he just needs a little something. So we're going to use here for the bed ends an RV69. It's pretty out there, I know. A G29, G17, YG06 and a YG00. And I'm just going to play with that until I'm happy with it, basically. So I wanted a little bit more definition in the back of it, so we're just going back through with some of the lighter colors, not the darkest, but although there we did the darkest, but we're just playing around with it until I'm happy. So the RV is just providing that real strong contrast. So TLC Designs have some fun things coming out, so stay tuned for those. Today when I'm doing this voiceover, it is the 10th of June, and I know in July there is a cute little stamp set coming out, so stay tuned for that. I don't know if there's more than one. I've just seen one. A little bit of tip to tip action because things weren't going terribly well. So the bed cover, I do start to color this panel, but we've cut it out, so don't do this. Don't worry about this part. But I do realize, and what I'm just going to do is do the outer edges. Okay, so if I don't place anything, that's where I figured it out. So if I don't place things down properly, then you won't be able to see anything. You'll just be the blue. That's why I'm putting this dark color in right now. And also up the top, a little bit up the top there, just to make sure you can't see any white. I've put a little bit of double-sided tape on this baby just to hold him down a little bit. I've placed him the way he is in the bed. So I haven't turned it around or anything else like that, okay? Just so I can get an idea. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a shadow on the left-hand side, just to do where his body is going to be laying, right here. I'm thinking. I don't want to go the really darkest color, because it's the first time I've ever done it. And I think next time I would put a little bit of that line on the right hand side too. But start off with your lighter, well, like your medium color. You know, not go crazy dark, but you know, the next darkest, or the one down, just to, because then you can change it, you can add more, of course. So we're just putting a bit of texture in our Duna cover. Going back through, and I'm not being specifically, like, I'm giving it texture and giving it the lines. I'm not having it super smooth, because Duna covers, you know, they're going to have a bit of movement when a body is lying. See, look at him. He looks so sad sack. He looks so... He just lends himself to be a thinking of you, a sad little card. But he's cute. I have made him a slightly darker, but I haven't changed the stamp in at all. He is a digital stamp, obviously, so you can sort of go around his edges and make him a little bit darker. You can flip them around, you can put them behind things like you do masking. Digital, if you haven't tried digital stamps, you've got to give it a crack. So we're just on the main image, obviously, there. And again, just doing around the edges. The bed is going to be, the mattress base is going to be the lighter. I'm not going to fuss with it too much, but it's going to be the lighter rounded blues. So the sheets are just like 90, B93 and 91. Did I tell you what the Bs were? Let's go back to the Bs. So these Bs were B99, 97, 95 and 93. And so then, as I said, here with the pillow, I'm just going to use the 93 and the 91, so a little bit softer. I'm colouring around the pillows mostly because because you're going to see him, but you know, it looks a little bit grey sort of thing, but it will all come out in the wash. And again, I've got that other pillow, so I'm not stressing about that particular pillow. Here's my other pillow. So you'll see here, I've also given him a little bit of, just got to clean the goobies off my glue bottle. So I've raised up the outer edges, and the center bit is going to be flattened down. We're just going to hold that for a sec, just to make sure he's down, because his head's going to imprint the pillow, isn't it? So, you know, it sounded good to me. So the pillow I coloured with C5, C3 and C1, just for a little bit of shading, a little bit of movement. What I'm doing here is, again, putting my foam mount, or what I did, now you can't see it, but putting the foam mount in the centre of my bed. So his wings here, and I think a little bit of his collar are the RV95 and RV91. So a little bit of jump between the two of them, but it works out just fine, because we're just putting a little bit of something on him. He's pretty stinking cute. So the pillow is just a little bit of texture, okay? A little bit of white, but a little bit of texture. And I coloured the underneath, as I mentioned before, just to make sure that if you see anything from underneath, it's not going to stand out and be blatantly obvious of what you've got. So we've got W7, W5, W3 and W1 for the little bear, just to give him a little bit of contrast to the rest of it, a little bit of warmth. And I'm not colouring the whole thing because he's going to be hidden. I brought in a bit of W1, had to find my W1. A little bit of the darkness just towards the body, just towards him, and we're going to blend that out, going back through all the colours. And I'm going to look a little bit like an Edward Scissorhands with all the markers in my fingers. But that's what I do. Can't help it. I think it's from my hairdressing days when I used to be a hairdresser a long time ago. You know, hairdressers tend to hold lots of things in their hands. Oh, so excited. So down in the description bar, there will be links over to TLC Design's website where you can pick this little guy up. As I said, I have drawn my little bed and I'm going to draw my bedside table, but you don't have to. This is just me and my craziness. So we're going back through with W's again, the same W's. Now, this looks like a crazy town, doesn't it? He's got carpet on the ground, so I figured carpet around the bed is going to be a little bit squiggly and a little bit rough. So very, very lightly, I'm just doing the squiggles and going back through the colour. So I've done the W7, the W5 with the squiggles, and then we're going to start to blend it out with some of the other colours. And yeah, we'll just sort of blend in all of a sudden. It will work. It will work. That inker was dead, so I had to quickly find my re-inker and fill him back up again. That's why there was a little bit of a millisecond pause there. So just trying to blend out his ground. Oh, they're so cool. The blues around the background, I'm not going to take it all out, but we are going to do the B03 and the B01, and I'm going to soften that out with a little bit of O. I just wanted him nice and soft in the background. Let me just soften him out. This is where I started to think that I needed to have a little bedside table for my little guy, because it just looked weird. Like, it was good, I'm happy with it, but it just looked weird. Google again, a little bit of scrap cardstock, found a nice easy little bedside table, and I'm just using the image here to get my dimensions right in the sense of how big he should go. And now we're going to put some fine tuning. We're going to round off his drawers a little bit, do an extra little, like do the actual drawers, because drawers don't go all the way. And it is going to be rough. It's going to look cartoonish. It's going to look hand drawn, because I'm not a person that is very particular with that sort of thing. And my bed is hand drawn, so I figured it was going to be a nice whimsical little drawing. But I haven't done too much of this type of thing. I like it, I enjoy it, but I haven't done too much. It's just a recent thing that I've started out with. So get creative with your stamps. Add some more interest in the background. If you've got stamps for it, by all means go for it. But I think sometimes we get a little bit stuck with our stamps, and we need to think outside the box of how we can use them. And this little guy, he needed to be in bed. So we're going back through with the same colours as our bed frame, because, you know, I don't know about you, but it's got to be matchy-matchy in my house. I'm not talking about the whole house, but I'm talking about like my bedroom. My bedside tables match my bed. I can't help it. Going back through with a little bit tip to tip. just clean off that brush because it was a darker colour, so just wanted to make sure it was nice and clean. And then finish him off with some YG00. I'll cut him out. I'll cut him out off screen. And I'm going to raise him up with a little bit of foam mount. And I was like, where am I going to put him? He better to be on that side, because otherwise he's sitting on the bed. Ooh, I'm so excited. It doesn't take much for me to get amused. Struggle with a little bit of a foam dot. And just using my craft pick here just to figure out where I want to place him. Aha. That's it. So I've just got little swatches of some cardstock here. I think I'm just going to use a little bit of blue. And we're going to mount him up. And this is just some blue that I had in my stash. And like always, I've got a bit of glue smooshed out the sides, but I've got a little tool that will help me get rid of that. I am a bit of a glue freak. Make sure you double check which way your card base is. I don't know how many times I've double checked and it saved my bacon because my cardstock was upside down. That's my card. Hop over to TLC Designs shop and check out all their little digital images. Take care. I will see you next time. Bye.